Hello, Southwest Florida. You are looking live at a tremendous setting indeed of historic proportion. It's the 96th annual class reunion for the Dunbar High School. Of course, that historic high school has been a pillar in this community, and it was the place where all African Americans went during segregation. It was the only school for hundreds of miles around that black people could go to get started in education. 96 years ago, going back past the Jim Crow. Now, they're celebrating their 96, and in 4 more years, they'll celebrate their 100. So it's a big deal. We're here at the new Dunbar High School, where it's been renovated, and now the reunion is taking place in the old gym at the new high school. So guess who we were able to get here, Lee Pitts Live, who had come out to attend it. Some new people in the community over there at Friendship, the new pastor here, Pastor Bean, the great Pastor Bean, has stepped down, and now we have a new pastor here and his lovely wife. I think from what I saw, you were an AKA somewhere.
That's
I saw
correct.
that.
Yes.
Are you in the fraternity too?
I am not in the fraternity.
Okay, we won't hold that against you. I'm a Sigma. Let's get those mics up right here. Let's get to meet this new first couple in the community. Let's get your name and let's start off with your name and you're the first lady.
Lillie Parker.
All right, and you come here by way of?
I come here by way of Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, where I am currently still a police major there.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay, so
yes.
Police major. Whoa. Talk about yourself, Pastor, where you come from, and give your name there.
Well, you met my lovely bride of 2 months.
Okay.
And I am coming from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
We've been here since April, and the reputation of Dunbar has preceded itself.
Right.
Prior to my coming, we're just excited to be a part of this great tradition.
Well, this is a good place for you to get started. I know your church is like a pillar in the community.
Right.
You mentioned Detroit. You'd be happy to know that I used to live in Detroit.
Oh, my.
Yeah, after I got out of grad school with my master's degree in business, I worked for several years with NBD, the National Bank of Detroit, and I lived on Grand River and Trumbull, right up the street from Cass Tech.
Right,
How about that?
right. No, right where it is.
I did that in the 80s, and then then my career brought me to Florida and television, a whole lot of other stuff. But prior to the whole television life, I was a senior vice president, what you know as Wells Fargo Bank.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I've been trying to get you guys on the show for a minute. You don't know that behind the scenes, but we'll let that be. Tell us, first of all, let's go back to you, Pastor.
Sure.
How you enjoying, I know it's been probably less than 5 months at the helm. I see some things on social media that looks like you've been putting on some different special things. Like I think everybody came dressed in black one time and some different things. Let's talk about all those unique things that you're doing at the church to sort of bring a whole new flavor there.
Well, first of all, Lee, thank you for having my wife and I on the show. I haven't been dodging you. We've been busy, but we're glad to be here.
You're here now.
As well as a part of the community. It's such a rich community. The more I learn about it, the more excited I am to be a pastor here. We've just tried to build on what Pastor Bing has done for 48 years, and in the great 112-year history of our church, just being a part of ministry here. There's so much for us to do in terms of ministry, but also so much for us to build on. We're bringing some new ideas and ministries. Our Men to Black ministry that we have done has just been.
I saw something in white too, didn't I?
Well, not yet, but that's coming.
Okay.
But we've had a couple of white, we call them white spiritual parties.
Okay.
With our revival and our concert. So we're bringing some new things to the area, kind of a fresh spirit. Working with the clergy here, already doing great work, and glad to have my wife beside me and joining me in this endeavor.
Okay. Let's get over to the wife. Get you talking. Major, right? You said.
That's correct.
Sergeant, major.
Major of the police department, yes.
Let's start off with some basics. If you recall, what are your worship hours?
What are our worship hours? We start. Service starts at 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
We have we have Sunday school starts at 9. Or did we just change those hours? I believe. Is it 9, Pastor? Okay, 9
Still
o'clock.
9.
Still 9 o'clock. But worship service starts at 10:30.
And then you have a big social media presence, I see.
Yes, we have an excellent media team that does
Right.
all of that for the church, and so that's been really great for us.
What's your thoughts on the whole Dunbar area, Southwest Florida, since you started to matriculate down here?
And so I'm glad that you say that, Lee, because I'm still in the matriculation process.
Right.
So I'm not here as regularly as Pastor is. So I'm really still not familiar with the area. But really honored to be here. Tisha Farrell invited us, and just really honored to be here. Dunbar, just that name of the high school, really stands and holds a lot of true meaning for me. My father, who was born in Bessemer, Alabama, went to a Dunbar high school. So just really excited, and then just hearing that history about the high school is just great.
Such a small world. I'm originally from Birmingham.
What?
I said I went to work in Detroit, but I'm from Birmingham, so I'm in and out of Bessemer.
Wow.
I was just in Bessemer a couple of weeks ago when I went to visit Mom.
Wow, 624 North 24th Street.
Right,
Yes,
right.
you can throw a rock into
You
one.
spending time in Alabama as well?
I have not.
So
no, sir.
When I say Bessemer, we just next door neighbors like Cape Coral and Fort Myers.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Is it really?
Yes,
Right.
yes,
So
yes.
Bessemer, back in the day when I was in high school, when we went to Bessemer, it was all white folk out there. Now it's all black out there. Now, you know what I'm saying? We just go out there and play on those tennis courts over there.
Okay.
So, let's come back to you. Expound on the different types of. You got a men's group. You got the youth. Just kind of give them an idea what's going on at Friendship. What types of ministries people can be involved in.
Our vision is a holistic ministry. We want to minister to the whole person and really helping that individual overcome the most immediate obstacle to reach their God-given potential, whether that's a man, a woman, a boy, or a girl. So we're really ministering, especially now post-COVID, Lee, with the mental health issues, and we just did a powerful revival series on overcoming depression.
Okay.
So we're dealing with real issues. I really just want to have a diverse congregation, and we do. In terms of, if you come to Friendship, you have somebody sitting there that's a millionaire next to somebody who didn't have bus fare to get there. Somebody sitting with a suit on next to somebody with jeans on. I just love that atmosphere. And then, of course, it's all about Jesus Christ and saving souls. So just happen to be a part down here in Florida, especially where I come from, it's 37 degrees and snowing.
Right. Now, did you have a church? I think you said the Detroit area. No, you're born in Detroit.
Right. I was born in Detroit. My father and my grandfathers were all pastors in Detroit. The Macedonia Baptist Church was our family church in Detroit. But I started pastoring in Illinois, and I'm coming here from Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay, so you were a pastor up there as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's come back to the missus. Let's get a background on you. I mean, we know what you do. We know where you were born, right? But give us a little bit where you came from, growing up, that kind of thing. What you bring, what you bring to the table in terms of you as a human being.
Me as a human being. So I'm one of 5. My parents had 5 daughters. One of 5. Grew up in Iowa, a small town called Marshalltown.
You got black people in Iowa, people see here?
Lots of them.
Graduated bachelor's degree from the University of Iowa.
Whoa,
Yeah,
okay.
with a degree in sociology, and then went on to Drake University and got a master's in public administration, and currently working on my doctorate in criminal justice. So he's smiling at me. You know, he makes me smile. People usually don't sit between us, Mr. Pitts, so we working on this.
Well, you guys will be back together in a second.
Okay. I have one son, and he lives in Texas. The pastor and I, well, he tells the story better than I do, but we met 37 years ago when we dated in undergraduate school.
Okay.
And then 35 years passed, and as he says that I saw his picture on a flyer, which I did. And
I was preaching in Iowa.
He was preaching in Iowa at
He
the
was
time.
still good looking.
Just look at him, fine as all can be. So
Like
yes,
Mike the Who.
and baseball was his thing. But yeah,
Okay.
he could do
What about
he
6'5"?
basketball too.
6'4".
So, but saw his picture on a flyer and was gonna go to the service, but work wouldn't permit me to do that. So I missed the service, and then I reached out to him on Facebook, and he reached back, and here we are now, 2 years ago.
36
and we're
years
married.
later.
36
Wow,
years
the
later.
power of Facebook.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's a great story. How are you finding the congregation? I know you've probably been to some services and the people there and how they're accepting you guys in the community.
Absolutely love Friendship. I mean, the ship, they come to worship. And I grew up in the church, been in the church. My father was a deacon. My mother was on the mother's board. My sisters and I, we were the choir. And not that I can sing, but we were the choir. And just loved the worship services. And, you know, I'm not the least bit biased, and I really am not. I wouldn't say that this wasn't true. Pastor Parker has a strong ministry. He lives and walks and talks the word. And if you get there at 10:30, you may not get a seat.
Right.
Because he is really drawing people in, and he does it all for the glorification of God. And that's the beauty of it. That's his sexy to me. is his love for God.
Did that surprise you? Because when I see images, and I visit the church numerous times over the years, when I see images of his filled to the rafters, did that surprise you that would type of appreciation and people would come to your ministry?
It absolutely did. Coming from the Midwest, especially post-COVID, people weren't coming to church. And so to come here and see people actually coming to church, and not just coming ready to praise and worship, and I'm surprised still, and I'm always surprised at the number of people in Dunbar and Fort Myers who are related.
Right.
So our church is basically made up of about 5 or 6 families, and they're huge families, but they come in a spirit of fellowship, right, and we just love it.
Yeah, I got to the area about 30 years ago, and then over the years, different things happened. I ended up in television. My banking job brought me to the area,
Right.
But I also find it quite interesting. All these people were so related, and it's like, that's my cousin, that's my this. And in the
That's
black
right.
community, we go like, that's my cousin, this is my nephew. And we be like, that's that black nephew that, and it not real, but it's like,
Right.
jokingly, that's
right.
that's my sister and all that. Here it be real.
It's real. It's real.
And then the play cousin. That's
Right,
a real cousin.
right. That's what I'm trying to get to that play cousins stuff.
That's right.
Growing up in the black community, what I want you to give an opportunity to make an appeal to people to come in and join your church. Would you? I think you have a social media presence. You might have an online ministry as well, and tell them what can they expect from Friendship Baptist Church.
When you come to Friendship Baptist Church, and if you have not visited, you have to visit. It is a mighty move of God going on in Fort Myers and the Dunbar community. I'm telling you, I praise God that He brought my wife and I here for such a time as this. You will not be disappointed. You can catch us on Friendship Missionary Baptist Church Facebook page, Friendship Missionary Baptist Church Fort Myers, and see all of our social media. But it does not compare with coming live 10:30 a.m. Sunday mornings.
You're still big
We
on
look
that.
forward to
Come
seeing
and
you.
sit down in church. Right?
Come sit down in person.
Be in the church.
That's
Old
right.
School. Right. So you guys are, over the years you'll learn this, but I was saying on this show is Miami has the oranges, but Fort Myers got the juice.
That's
I'm going to close this one out with Friendship Baptist. What?
Friendship
Missionary?
Baptist Church. Yes, sir.
So as the saying goes on this particular show, Miami may have the oranges, but Friendship Baptist Church
Juice.
has got the
Juice.
It's got the
Juice.
We'll be right back with more interviews. We'll see you. You say that in your pulpit, they're going to know where you got it
They're
from.
gonna know exactly.